Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Totally Oblivious. I am your host, Caleb the Joke Character Perez, here with co-host Alex Metis Pruneda.
Hola.
Alex, how's your day?
I have a confession.
What's your confession?
I've been playing Fortnite again.
I've seen that.
I'm not gonna lie. When you have a decent internet connection now, thanks to your PC Ethernet cable, the game's actually fun. Not fucking lagging every 5 seconds.
What was your internet before?
Oh no, okay. So clarification. Back when Fortnite was like on season 2 or like season 6 or whatever, I was playing it on the PlayStation 4 and I had no Ethernet connection, so it was ass. But since now I have a fucking PC with an internet connection, I'm able to land shots for once. And I don't know if it was just because I haven't played it so long, my KD reset, or like the game didn't know how good I was. But I've been shockingly doing pretty fucking well up until like this afternoon, because I was like getting like consistently like top 10, top 5. I'm like, wow. And then I've been playing with Craig and some of his friends, with Demi, Jarrett, myself, and him. And we've been getting dubs. I'm like, damn, this game's actually pretty fun. Craig is insanely cracked at Fortnite for no reason. I kind of am too. But sometimes with some guns, I can't land my shots. But some of the automatic ones or the automatic fire ones are kind of fire. And it's just like, damn, this is kind of fucking fun for once.
There's only one moment in time that I ever was extremely cracked out on Fortnite. So we were all in like a local lobby with like, I think it's like maybe 12 of us all playing. We're all doing a free-for-all. This guy made a custom map and made it Nuketown. And I was homesick. And I had such a bad fever, but for some reason, despite me having hot flashes and chills, like going back and forth within like an hour, I was the most cracked out at Fortnite I have ever been. I was killing everyone in the lobby. I was like, man,
fork knife.
What is going on right now?
Local parties are fucking fun. I don't know. That's what I've been recently doing. I know there was a whole streak for a while that Fortnite's for children.
Nah, Fortnite's still stupid.
No, it's pretty fun. I won't lie. Like just playing it, I'm like, this is all right. It's okay.
That's all it is.
It breaks up the monotony of everything else.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's like, it's cool. Zero build's still the best thing ever. Building.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Building was so stupid.
Zero build is the only reason I even play the game.
Oh yeah, no. I think it's by far the best thing. Like, it's better than PUBG because PUBG takes its shit too seriously. But like Fortnite and zero build's in this little wacky state where it's still cartoonish, but still fucking works.
It's like
once motherfuckers started doing fighting game combos in Fortnite, I was done. I'm like, nope.
I honestly think that saved the game.
Oh yeah,
just having zero build.
Oh my god, dude! I remember back in the day when my brother would practice, or we would start building shit, and all of a sudden it's just
Taj Mahal.
I'm like, no, dude, I'm done.
There's no way. I give up.
I'm done with this.
If I wanted to build like crazy, I'd play Minecraft.
Exactly, dude. It's just Steve and Smash Bros, but it's
really is.
Nah, it was dumb. But I'm enjoying my time just playing video games with homies instead of just solo queuing other fucking games like Halo or something. But no, like Fortnite's fun, and I still got all my old shit and looking back at the old skins. And then I started looking at the shop, and I'm like, damn, this shit's affordable. Affordable. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna diss Craig here real quick. All of his skins in game are a bunch of goth, e-girl skins. He doesn't own a male guy skin, and it's hilarious. Because it's just the same looking character in a different tattooed goth-centric style. I'm like, Craig, do you have a type? I've yet to ask him if he has a type, but I'm pretty sure he has a type.
Good job, Craig.
Good job, Craig.
Good for you.
Craig is
proud of you.
Craig is fucking goth cord. Goth coded.
What a guy.
What a guy. And it's fucking hilarious.
I only have 2 skins in Fortnite, and that's Vegeta and Indiana Jones.
Dude, what? It's so fucking stupid how Fortnite is. Because it'll be like me. I'm like, I play as the Drift character from like season like 6 or 8 or whatever. I can't remember. And the reason why I play him is because he looks cool, and he's the only character I ever got to the end of the battle pass or near end where he has his full outfit. And I just like how he looks. He's like a samurai ninja cyberpunk-esque character. I don't know if maybe punk-esque character works. I just like how he looks. And then to the left of me, this fucking Indiana Jones doing the gritty. To the right of me is an e-girl. And then to the farthest right of me is a fucking alien, a gray, that Jared's playing. And I go, this makes sense.
This is fine.
As I'm killing stormtroopers and shit. I'm just like, this is the
it's
fucking
goofy.
nuttiest game
It's
ever.
so goofy.
Like I'll be in an environment that goes from ice cold to fucking tropical while fighting Darth Vader and or any other skin while I get gunned down by another gray alien. Like it is so bonkers, dude. Well, there's Jujutsu Kaisen in the far distance.
They're
on the
off
map.
doing their own thing, probably fighting a Spider-Man.
I was killed by Spider-Man the other day too, and it's just like this shit is fucking just weird.
It is.
Seeing the alien
goofy.
do the gritty is just from Aliens. It's just I don't. How did we get this far?
I'm not sure.
What combination of
It's
black magic fuckery did we get into the point where I can have all these characters in a battle royale game and we just go nice.
Those Marvel deals really changed the game.
Comic books save everything they touch, other than themselves.
Apparently, yeah.
It was fun, but I won't lie. The new battle pass has started. I just started on the new season. Like I started a couple days before it, and me and Craig are like, "Damn, this shit mid as fuck." It really is. There's nothing cool in it so far. The only like cool thing's Ahsoka, but she's like later down in the season. She'll be unlocked. I just hope like Optimus Prime was in it last season.
He was.
And just like, okay, so I'm waiting for what else they're gonna bring, because now I'm curious. Now since I don't know if I'm gonna play Fortnite consistently now, but with Craig being there and there's now a squad that will play with me.
If you have a
consistently.
squad, that's what matters.
Yeah, playing with friends is fun and like communicating. I'm the hardcore one of the group. Everybody's doing some fucking stupid shit. I'm doing call outs. I'm like, South 92. I hear shots. I don't know where it is. I'm marking it on the map. Everybody will be doing goofy shit. Craig and them will be trolling, but all of a sudden Craig just automatically switches into gamer mode.
Dude, I'm about to kill you.
No, Craig's cracked, bro. He's fucking nuts for like no reason at Fortnite. I'm pretty good too. I'm not to toot my own horn, but today I will admit I was just not landing my shotgun shots for the life of me, bro. I was like, motherfucker, I'm able to do this in fucking trios or squads. Fucking solo, man. Swear, solo is sweaty as fuck. Like the party ones are meant for fun. Solos is not. But I don't know. It was just fun. I don't know. I've been having a good time gaming as of late.
You know what? Me too. I'm very close to 100%ing Pikmin 4. But like I always do, as soon as I'm about to complete one task, if I don't complete it immediately, I will find another task to do and start doing that. Which is why last night I started playing Omega Ruby again, just to feel the childlike wonder of going through the Hoenn region, because that brings me back to my earliest days.
I have a question. When you play a game a second time, does at any point during it that gameplay session or playthrough, do you go, fuck, this isn't as good as I remember it? There's almost this wonder.
Honestly, it always is better every time.
I don't know.
I think I just like peak games, so that might be it. I played peak as a child, and I played again. I'm like, yeah, this is still peak.
No, sometimes I'll come back to games and be like, this is fun, but damn, it used to be a lot funner before. Like I played Red Dead Redemption a while back again for a second playthrough while my girlfriend was gone in France, and I was playing it. I'm like, this is good. But I don't feel like a cowboy. And I try to get myself back immersed into it, and I had moments where I feel like, yeah, I'm a cowboy again. But sometimes it'd be like, damn, this is a lot of fucking riding on a horse.
I think for me, it's just shooters. Shooters are the only ones that are like not as fun. Because for me, I always like the campaigns for shooters. So that's why I always like going back to Halo. But like for the most part,
and then I recently started doing that. I went back to Halo Infinite. I'm like, this game is playable.
It's good. But no, I don't know. I've never had a point where I went back to a game. I was like, yeah, this wasn't as good as I remember it. But Nerf guns, Nerf guns weren't as good as I remember.
Talk about that, because that was an interesting thing. Why were you playing with Nerf guns? There's a Nerf gun off the side over here.
My intention was I wanted to train my reflexes. So I had my nephew shooting at me with the Nerf gun, and I was trying to catch the bullet. But the more we did it, the more I was like, man, this isn't as fun as I thought it'd be.
Is that the actual reason?
Yeah.
You wanted to be Spider-Man.
Yeah. And it wasn't as fun. What was more fun on training my reflexes was just doing where you have half the ping pong table up and just hitting that ball as hard and fast as possible. That was so much more fun.
I haven't played ping pong in a while. I did it with Nat a while back in Seattle, and I beat her bad.
It's fun.
You know what I really want to do? I want to buy a pool table.
Dude, I was just thinking about that.
Wow,
too.
bro, we think the exact same
we have
way.
the same brain
We're the same wavelength, bro.
Oh my gosh. But
you and your bro are not the same.
Dude,
and my bro.
On Amazon, there's literally this 10-in-1 table. It has 8-ball, foosball, air hockey, whatever else was on it. But it was so cool, and I wanted to buy it, but I was like, I have no room for it, so I didn't.
How big is it? Is it like a actual one, or like a mini?
I think it's like a smaller size, but I wouldn't know where to put it that it wouldn't be in the way somewhere. Because I hardly even have room for my ping pong table as it is.
Just place it on top of the.
And I can't have a man cave because I need a podcast studio first.
You just make the man cave big enough for the podcast studio and the man cave.
Doesn't work. It's not working. It's not working that way right now.
Just mine out the side of your house and build more parts of it. It's not that hard.
How long I've been wanting to do that since I was like 6 years old. I was like, can I just dig an extra room in my house?
Technically, legally, no.
Yeah, this is weird.
You know how weird that is? Like the government technically still owns your land, and if you want to do
you can't do anything.
You can't do anything.
They put limits on how big you can build your buildings, which I think is stupid.
That is kind of dumb.
I want a tower. I want a tower.
Do you want like a wizard tower?
And what if I wanted to dig an opposite tower? Like it looks like a normal house, but I just have so many floors going down. Why can't I do that? Why do I have regulations that stop me from doing that?
Capitalism mostly.
It's just that meme. We're just trying to enjoy ourselves, and the government's like, you can't be
too happy.
You can't be building a tower.
Why not?
We technically own your land. Quit having fun. That's the government. They're that guy in that meme telling us to quit having fun.
Quit having fun.
Quit having fun. No, you can't make your life the way you want it. You make it. Structured.
Hate the government.
You hate the government episode part 10. No. We're not doing that today.
Yes.
No, we're not doing that today.
Yes.
Not today.
It's in every underlying theme I have.
No.
I hate authority.
Today's episode is different and maybe silly.
We're 13 minutes in. What is so silly about today's episode?
Today's episode, I had this thought because
You've been thinking?
I've been thinking.
You're not allowed to do that.
The government doesn't allow it. No, but so a while back I was introduced to this podcast. I think.
Oh, we're talking about another podcast now on the podcast?
Yes. We're talking about the podcast that you should be watching rather than this. But no, I think Andrew even told me about it too. The Bad Friends podcast. Mm-hmm. This is probably about 2 months back.
Mm-hmm.
But I started listening to them. And I came up with this idea. I was like, man, nobody really, what's the correct way to listen to podcasts? Like, when you start a podcast, what's the way to do that? So I thought, why not create a guide on how to start a podcast? Like, how to start listening to a new podcast.
Oh, okay. I was about to say start one
no, that's too advanced. We don't even know what we're doing. I
got confused.
I don't have the jurisdiction to tell anybody how to start a podcast.
I got real confused.
I can tell you how to start listening to a podcast. So I kind of have a rough draft little set of things that I thought of, So I'll just read through this. And
Do you want me to like critique him? Is that what you're...
No, I mean, just put your input, like other things that you think of as we go along. So here's the first number one rule to Caleb's guide to starting a new podcast when you're listening and not starting.
Okay, I already have a critique.
Oh, no, not for critiques. I'm asking for... No,
You want to start? It's the fucking
guide to
title
start
of this
listening
sucks.
to a new podcast.
There you go. That's a better way of saying it.
Somehow I knew
Starting a podcast got me confused off the bat.
I should have known. I should have known you'd immediately be confused.
I was like, starting a podcast?
So number one, just find a podcast you're interested in. That's number one. It's also kind of a guide to also making friends at the same time. Because I feel like starting a new podcast and making new friends they're kind of similar things.
Okay, I'll follow what you're saying.
How are you
here.
confused?
No, I'm
How
not
is this
confused.
the
I'm just
Look,
in awe how those two are similar. But keep going. I'm listening.
Look.
I'm looking for this bait.
here's what I'll say. Listening to a new podcast, you got to find people who you think are worth spending time with. Same thing with making friends. You got to find people who have similar interests with you. And so that's why you can't just listen to any podcast. There's going to be conversations or people that you just won't vibe with. And that's okay. Everyone has their thing. And luckily, there's enough people in the world that make podcasts, so you should be able to find the group that works for you. And that's the same thing kind of with making friends. When you're trying to find a new friend group, there's just going to be people that you don't vibe with. But you will find people that you do vibe with.
Couldn't you also say the same thing for hobbies?
Well, yeah, but that's not the point of the episode, Alex. I'm not telling people how to make a hobby. I'm telling people, how are you confused again?
I'm not confused. I'm just adding to it. I'm like, isn't that the same as a hobby?
No.
Maybe it's an allegory for life. I don't know. Keep going, though.
Okay. So finding like-minded people is important in any relationship, even podcasts. Listening to people who think and talk similar to you will help you feel more bonded in their conversations, which is like podcasts. You got to find a podcast that talks about things that you're actually interested in. People who talk about things that you actually care about in ways that are similar to you will be easier to listen to. A podcast should not be an echo chamber, though. You don't want an echo chamber of ideas. Listening to differing opinions. We have a problem with that on this podcast. Listening to differing opinions is how we grow as people. Don't stop listening to a podcast because they disagree with you on something. If you enjoy 99% of what they say, then depending on the 1%, it could be a learning experience for you. But some people do say some pretty offhand things. So
there's some wild shit in some podcasts.
Absolutely wild things.
Belligerent takes. If you uneducated takes.
If the first episode you listen to is like,
I hate women. Why? I just don't like their vaginas.
They should be in the kitchen. Then I think you might have a case to not listening to their podcast.
Yeah, like the transphobic ones. I forgot who the fuck he was. He was on a Joe Rogan episode. And Joe's like, the fuck are you talking about, dog? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, like, oh, man.
I always like the ones that involve gender because it's just like, why do they want a penis? I don't fucking know, dog. Why the fuck do you care what's in between their legs?
What does that matter to you? It's also the same thing with like, there's so fuck? This is just backtracking on other opinions we have.
You consent. I don't.
Who cares?
I love that meme.
Who cares? But like, freaking going back to the women thing, like, there's so many people online who just hate women for no reason.
The gender
Andrew
wars.
Tate. What an odd man. What a sad little man.
Sad bald man.
Sad bald man.
Oh, man, why can't you just you gotta be the alpha or whatever the fuck he does, dude?
Who
It's
cares?
fucking funny.
It's so
Who
stupid.
gives a shit, dude?
It's just like, why?
I'm not gonna be listening to a man who has mafia ties.
True.
I just no.
This man.
Also, I didn't realize the full into this, but Mudahar covers it every once in a while. The fat, chubby little Indian man he is. Good Mudahar. Apparently, Andrew Tate's like dating some underage girl too. So I'm just like, okay, never mind.
And he's still revered as a god to these people.
He hasn't been relevant in a while. I haven't really seen anything on TikTok or anything. He's basically been like mega shadow banned. But
yeah,
it's funny anytime he like shows up on my timeline. I'm like,
there's still those people. There's still that small
like I
amount
like
of people.
The one thing I will say about like that kind of group is like what he says half the time is like this is a base take. Then it's followed up by misogyny. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Like you can't. Why couldn't you just stop there?
Because his brother's I think somewhat better. Like he'll give a take. I'm like, this is good. Son of a bitch. Oh, there's a snap there that. Ow! I hurt my nerve. Fuck. Ow. That happens sometimes when I snap my fingers. Only on my right side.
Alex could never be Thanos.
No. Ow. That actually hurt. It was my thumb.
Actually, it's the left hand that Thanos uses.
Which is so weird because everybody. Isn't the gauntlet model? No, it's modeled off to the left. There was sometimes people think it's the right, but it's not. Ow, that hurt actually.
It's because most people are right-handed, so they snap with their right.
Yeah.
But Thanos is a lefty, so he snaps with his left.
Is he actually left-handed or is this in his left hand?
Well, I mean, maybe he's ambidextrous. I don't know.
Maybe. No, but like back before I had my incident with my nerve, that's not the first time that's happened.
Nerve incident.
It's like snap.
The snap of 87?
The snap, and it's like, oh, belligerent take. It's just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Look, just keep that in mind, though, when you're listening to a podcast. Some people disagree with you on your favorite kind of food. That's not a reason to not want to listen to the podcast. If they hate women, that's... You probably don't want to. They probably don't have too much intelligent things to say. Here at Totally Oblivious, we love women.
That was me agreeing. I went, Not, I'm lying,
I'm lying.
I'm agreeing because it's correct.
But yeah.
But gay net. Oh no! Gay guys are cool.
Just as
anytime I hear somebody like this, I'm like, you just haven't.
As long as people,
you probably never met one.
As long as people are vibing, that's all that matters.
Who gives a fuck?
If everyone just vibed, we'd be living in a.
We'd be in paradise.
All right,
but Eve had to eat the fruit, and this is why
This is why I hate women. Anyways.
Oh, wait. Here's one thing. Anytime somebody complains about women and they immediately go down the Eve route, I cringe inside. A part of me dies. It's like, oh, you're just an ass.
You just suck.
Damn.
You suck.
It's like you 100% misogynistic. For real.
They really are.
Okay, anyway. Keep going.
All right. Here's step 2. Once you start,
step 1, summarize it.
Step 1 is basically you find what you're interested in.
Okay.
So if there's a podcast that like talks about stuff you like if there's a dinosaurs podcast, I'd watch the dinosaurs podcast.
Is there a dinosaurs podcast?
There probably is. I haven't found it yet. But I like comedy podcasts, so that's what I mostly listen to.
It's the biggest genre of podcast.
Yeah. big broad strokes. But also I have this true crime podcast that I listen to where it's like half true crime, half paranormal.
Everybody loves it.
It's called And That's Why We Drink. Very good. Like at first, it's like when I first started listening, it was like, these girls are kind of weird. But then when you listen more, you're like, you know what? These girls are weird, but I like them. I like listening to them.
How people subscribe. This guy's weird.
I like him. I like him. And that brings me to step 2. Start on the most recent episode of the podcast. You do not watch chronologically. That's one thing I've learned very fast. I'll let you give your opinion on that before I.
Only if it's less than 100 episodes. I think that is correct. I did it with the Misfits podcast and it made it so much better. But if there's 1,000 episodes and they're really not connected because it doesn't really have lore, start on episode 1,400 and something else.
Yeah.
But if it's if they have less than 100 episodes, just fucking watch. You will probably catch up faster than they're able to make new episodes.
That's probably very true.
So if it's less than 100 episodes, watch it chronologically, like with us.
Look at us. We got 70. This is 73rd episode.
So you can just watch it chronologically, and you'll be able to understand the lore and where we're coming from. But if that some bitch is 500 episodes, fuck that shit.
Do not One Piece it.
Do not One Piece it. It is not worth it. There's not a deep story there. But this is where I'm gonna say this: going back to episodes that seem interesting, like at random, is good, because you could get. So this is what you do with Joe Rogan. Sometimes, if you want some belligerent, asinine, butt fuck takes, you go back before like episode 400, and there are some fucking wild ones.
Insane takes.
Like if you go from the early, I'll get into this too during these episode counts. Not going by episode, but going by guest appearances, and if there's multiple guest appearances, because there's like Joey Diaz now, and then Joey Diaz from like 500 episodes ago, and there's a massive difference in character, and it's amazing seeing it. Like that's the only time, and like it I feel like almost in a sense like it's not podcasts themselves, but it's like podcast episodes. Like I don't need a fucking know the podcast. I just want to see the fucking insane conspiracy guy talk about fucking aliens for the next hour.
It's true, yeah.
Like I don't need to know. Like I need to know the host, but like the co people or like the guest. That's what I want. I want the crazy man who's basically spewing out misinformation, but thinks he's smart. Fuck it, I'm down.
I think that also is something that depends on the podcast, because not every podcast is like Joe Rogan, where that he has like the crazy guests,
fucking insane.
But you could definitely watch episodes.
Like watching a grand. Okay, this is my favorite thing. Going to a person with crazy conspiracies and being like, okay, this makes some sense. You know, ancient civilizations probably had something. I saw a video this morning. Fucking nope, I did not fact check this shit at all. But apparently, so there was some like Chinese sword that was found that was still in really good condition, and it was like made out of like super like crazy metal that, you know, you just can't manufacture. It wasn't until the 1936 until they discovered this. And then I'm like, oh, you know, that makes sense. But then, and also another thought appeared into my mind. He was on a podcast. I'm like, you know, it's not that hard to get really high temperatures. All you need to fucking do is make like a little, like a pit. What do you need to do? And just blow a fuck ton of air in it and fuel. And you can get like crazy high temperatures. It's not that hard to do it. Like everybody's like, it's extremely difficult. Dude, I can do this in my fucking backyard with like a leaf blower. And I know a leaf blower is not 10,000 BC, but if you can just get like 7 or 8 dudes blowing into holes, you can technically get the same effect. You might need more than 10 dudes, but you can still do it. So it's just like, and whatever you use your fuel. So it's just like, sometimes podcast clips and episodes are just funny, because going back to the Graham Hancock thing, he'll make some like crazy out of this world take. And then there's some like really good YouTubers who know their facts. Like these guys have been known forever, like historians, and be like, man, this is just a bunch of racist shit that this man's coming up with on Joe Rogan's podcast. And I'm like, this is why I watch the podcast, and then I go online to see people's takes. This is the good shit.
Yeah.
That's what I like. That's why I like watching podcasts. But I won't lie, ever since starting a podcast, very similar to how I started a YouTube channel, I just stopped watching podcasts or hearing podcasts.
See, I just have a lot of free time, so that's why I listen to a lot of different podcasts.
I'll listen to I'll check on a Joe Rogan like after like a whole bunch of weeks to see who he's invited, and I wanna go back to the Joey Diaz episode and the Ice Cube one, or Ice Cube. Like if it's only like a cool guest. Stuff, or it's like a conspiracy theory guy I know. That's the only times I'll do it.
I
don't care about the fucking scientists.
I like how you said that like Joe Rogan was like some crazy uncle. You're like, I'll go back and visit him every once in a while.
But that's another thing. The host too. A host matters too.
That is true.
Because Joe Rogan is a fucking chameleon, dude. He will go from Republican to fucking Democrat to anything in the fucking middle. He'll go from, man, I don't believe that to, I fully believe in this.
That is a very good addition.
It's fucking insane. The personality switches he goes through. It's great.
I truly want to know what Joe Rogan's actual opinions are, because it's like you never know what he actually thinks.
Because I feel like low key in his mind, for the entire podcast, it's a long running bit, is that he will always conform to somebody else's ideas for the sake of the episode, and then completely change them around for a different episode. For the fucking fun of it. Just for the fun. For the bit.
for the bit.
Because it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, well, it technically does matter because you do influence people at like that big of a scale. But it's just like, I'm gonna go from like having this wild take to being like, nah, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah,
It was dumb.
that was a dumb idea. Anybody thinks that's stupid.
Yeah, dumb.
But unlike that, here's why I think you should actually start on the most recent episode, regardless of the podcast.
Yeah, regardless of the podcast.
So listening to the most recent episode gives you the best idea as to what the podcast is going to be about. You can't judge a podcast based on what it was in its past because things change over time, like what you said.
Mm-hmm.
With friends, you can't time travel either. So it's like I said, this is very comparing to like starting a podcast is like, or starting to listen to a new podcast is like making new friends. Cause like with friends, you can't time travel and spend your whole life with them.
Caleb, what if they were murderers in their past?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if
It
they
doesn't
killed
matter.
people.
It depends on who they are now. And besides, if they killed someone,
And the FBI never found
if they
them.
never
It doesn't
found
matter.
out, you're not going to find out. You can't time travel and find out. You're going to have to spend time with these people and learn if right then and there, you know exactly who you're dealing with right then and there. And then once you get the first little feel on who they are now, then if you have the time, you go back and watch the old episodes. Because if you like the podcast right now, as it is in its true state, then going back to episode 1, you can be like, this is how things have changed, and I'm going to just watch them all chronologically now, if that's what you want to do. Which I feel like makes the most sense.
Episode 1 of Joe Rogan's fucking hilarious, though.
Because, like, even when I watched episode 1 of That's What You Drink, because I started just most recent episode when I started watching, and then I watched them for like a year. And then we watched episode 1. Their audio quality was terrible.
Ass.
They, like, didn't speak the way they do now. Like, they have a certain cadence to them now where they speak with confidence. But it's like, if your first impression of them is how they were back, like, however many years ago they started the podcast, it's not going to be the same as what they are now. So you always have to start with whatever you're watching is now compared to what it was. Because that's your best impression is who they are now.
Real. Agree.
Good. We're in a
that echo chamber comment I made earlier.
Echo chamber. Well, no, you still had some good points too. That like with smaller podcasts, it's also important to watch.
If there's less than 1,000 episodes, just watch them one by one. It's fun.
Like, still start with the most recent one.
Yeah,
but
if you crave more of the podcast, just start from one.
Yeah,
just go through.
Start from the beginning.
Start from the end
Yes.
and then go to the
Yes.
beginning.
At that point, you have so much content to get you to the next week when they have their next upload.
And then it's depressing when they stop uploading for several months.
Ooh, yeah, that is.
And then you're just sad because
very
you
true.
went through the whole fucking bibliography or whatever word it is.
Oh, this is something with shows. Like when a show stops. I think I talked about this on the saddest episode, but like when they're like,
the show gets canceled.
Most of the podcasts I listen to, they're either like very far into it or they're barely starting. So it's like, I haven't had a podcast stop yet, but man, if there's a podcast if any of the podcasts I listen to like stop for whatever reason, I'd be like, a little piece of me is gone now.
It died.
That's like a friendship. But when a friend moves away,
That's entering parasocial.
when a friend moves away, it's like, man, my friend is. I mean, they're not dead, so I guess that podcast person that you listen to is still there.
them.
But it's like it's not the same experience as what it once were. You won't get that experience if Alex ever leaves the podcast.
Exactly. Also, I'm hungry. You
I
have
am
no
too.
munchies upstairs. That's the
What do you think I've been dealing with?
That's the first thing I did.
I come home from work and I'm starving and there's nothing.
I was like, oh man, I'm trying to get some Oreos. I opened up the fucking pantry. I saw a cobweb and a fucking tumbleweed.
Do you know what it's like to work out and have no post-workout food?
Oh, that sounds terrible.
I have 0% body fat currently because it's gone. I didn't eat before when I worked at the hospital, but now I work at 8 to 5. I barely get to eat lunch, and then I get home and there's no food. I only eat 2 meals a day.
You're about 3 steps away from feeding your kids. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Why?
Jesus. Anyway.
No, but yeah. I'm basically on that Hollywood diet right now.
I'm gonna have food after this.
Okay. Here's my next step. This is more. Those are more like the broad strokes of starting to listen to a podcast. This is like now you're into listening to podcasts. Maybe you want to start a new one. You need something else to fill your time, and you're already caught up on all the episodes. Mm-hmm. So just be broad in the podcasts you listen to. Listen to a lot of different types of podcasts to find what interests you most. It can be good to have a wide array of podcasts to listen to, as it will broaden the amount of different views and information you can take in. Sticking to one genre is good too, if that's what you're interested in listening to. Sometimes sticking with what you're comfortable with will go a long way. So, like I said, I like comedy podcasts. I started with Distractible. That was the first podcast I listened to. Loved it. Markiplier and his friends are just so funny. They'd probably be mad hearing me say, and his friends, Bob and Wade. They're fun. And then he started his other podcast. It's a sports podcast, still comedy though, with his friend Tyler.
He does Mark likes sports? That makes sense.
He doesn't do sports.
Oh,
That's the point of the podcast. His friend has a major in sports.
Oh.
And he knows nothing about sports.
It's just somebody who knows sports telling somebody who doesn't know sports as they try to understand it.
It's honestly really interesting and hilarious because they're both idiots. But I really like listening to that. Like I said, the Bad Friends podcast I started, they're funny.
Yeah, no, it's like music. Like,
oh yeah,
like I don't think I've ever met a fucking single person that sticks to a single genre. And if they say it, they're lying. Because if they listen to an album, I can guarantee you on that album, at one point, the artist switches up the genre to something different. So I know they're lying.
That's real. I never even thought of that.
Nobody listens to a single genre. Based Alex take. Zoom in when I said all that.
That is incredibly
You lie if you think you listen to a single genre, you stupid bitch. You raggedy bitch.
Even our podcast isn't strictly just comedy.
We get political.
We get political. We get sad.
We get really sad sometimes. We cry on screen.
We get incredibly sad.
We eat hot wings sometimes. We didn't do that again. We need to have a mukbang.
Dude, that's our Thanksgiving episode. We're going to eat a whole meal.
Have to eat a whole turkey,
dude.
I'd eat a whole turkey.
Maybe either a turkey or like a chicken, so we don't have so much leftovers. I think we could do a whole rotisserie chicken. Thanksgiving episode.
No, hold on. Zoom in. Keep zooming in slowly. Turducken.
Okay, we need a army.
I would like to try it.
Should we get a potluck together? Get all our homies.
We should eat weird shit on the podcast.
We wouldn't have good audio quality, but we could do it just a potluck, I guess, ourselves.
I know. Like, I really want to try octopus.
Dude, it's so good.
I want to. Bro, we're fucking hungry.
We are hungry. This is terrible.
Hurry up. We go through the list. I need to go get food.
This is my last point right here.
What the fuck was? Oh, my phone fell.
You dropped your phone, you fool. But so. You agree then that you should be broad with your podcast?
Yeah, no. I even think that with videos, with YouTube videos, at one point, like, if I just did strictly power scaling videos constantly, I'd go butt fucking insane. Sometimes, if you just have an idea, fucking post it. Or anything.
That's true. That's very true.
Because there'll be ideas in the back of your mind that you just have to get through. It was like that Jotaro video I did. I thought about that video for fucking ever. And now since I finally have it out of me, I can think about different things. So I know sometimes I might not come up with the best ideas or the best even videos. Sometimes, like my friend Base said on Twitter, he finds it hilarious and fucking inspiring that I just sometimes just sit in front of a mic and I just fucking talk like a fucking insane man about some random manga, or not random manga, but mostly JoJo's or something. Like sometimes I just want to make some fucking just me fucking doing butt fuck whatever with a video idea. That's what you need to do. Just come. If you have an idea, just do it. Like that one time we had that podcast where I'm like, let's talk about the CIA and all of their mistakes.
Yeah.
Was it very good? I don't really know. I just thought about it.
That's up to you guys to decide
Yeah, we
whether or not
just
it's
come
good.
fucking up with ideas, and whatever sticks on the fucking wall sticks.
If you ask me, about 90% of the episodes we put out are kind of trash.
They kind of are, except for some that like the best friends talking about gaming that has like 1,000 views.
That one, I don't even like that one.
I don't know why it has it.
That one's honestly one of my least favorite episodes.
And the audio quality's ass. Doesn't make any fucking sense. I think it's honestly the fucking thumbnail with Arbiter and Bastard.
But like the pumpkin spice, for some reason that
episode hits.
That couple of months, we just had a huge influx of views. I don't get it. The pumpkin spice.
When was that?
That was like this time last year.
What was I doing this time
It
last
started-
year? Because I won't lie, I will say like some of the
I'll even
traction
pull it
comes
up.
from me.
I'll pull it up. It started with. I'll show you exactly where.
Okay, I can tell you probably when it started.
So it started exactly with Jarrett's episode, which was the end of August, when we talked about politics and nuggets. We got a big up until that point, we were getting pretty crappy viewership. But then that one popped off. And then the couch co-op was immediately after that. Has 1.3K. Don't know how. Don't know why. That's probably one of the least interesting episodes.
Hey, but we can at least say
then, immediately after that was Who's the Dumbest? Banger. Then Pumpkin Spiced Pod. Banger.
Dude, that thumbnail was ass. I made it like in 5 minutes.
Who Knows Who Best? Banger. And then we started October, and I apparently our fan base was scared because it started dropping off. Alex's Fierce, only 304 compared to the almost 400 that Who Knows Who Best had. And then Demons Hate This Episode, 330. And Slasher Films for some reason only got 197 after that. So we had a huge drop off.
There's weird points. At least we can say now we get at least from what, like 180 to like 200 views.
Like I almost feel like here's our experiment right now. When school starts up, a lot more people listen to podcasts. So that's when we get a huge boost in views.
That's a good idea. Hold on, that is a good idea. That is a good thought.
Then when
I just thought about this, some people listen to music while no, this is in specific high schools and stuff like not college, because college there's definitely people listen to podcasts while they do shit. But do you think high schoolers, while they're walking the halls of their high school, are listening to Joe Rogan or something?
You know, it wouldn't surprise me.
That'd
it would
nuts.
Not surprise me. I probably would have if I had podcasts to listen to.
Imagine watching that shit like just being in English class or something. Like Mr. Strophies.
And then
I just have Joe Rogan in my ear talking to Joey Diaz being like, I remember this one time I farted so bad, everybody died. I start fucking cracking up in the middle of class.
It's true, yeah.
Like Mr. Rogan would be like, what the fuck are you doing? I'll be like, man,
listen to Joe Rogan.
Listen to shit.
Listen to Joe Rogan Experience. But yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe our viewers just don't like scary stuff too. But also, mid-October is like when you're deep into school too, which I'd imagine is most of our viewers
fucking
are
in the trenches.
They're either in college or high school, I feel like, is the majority of our viewers.
Imagine if we had child viewers. Why are you watching this?
We have 8-year-olds watching.
Jimmy, go to bed.
Billy, you should not be here. And then immediately after the first week of November, we had The Wall, which just had a huge boost in views.
Yeah, that one, I think you know why that one hit? Because we were all like, man, this fucking sucks.
We're just sad.
Life sucks. You know what? You know what I feel like? I feel like the reason why those episodes do good is because like we were like so emotionally connected like with the in the moment. We're like, life sucks, man. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Compared to like this kind of podcast, where we're just like, man, I'm like so happy and energetic right now. People just love negativity. I've said it before in the past. Like negative attracts negative, and positive doesn't like positive.
It's the weirdest thing because like October had a drop in viewership, and then November had a pretty decent boost in viewership, and then December's just all out of whack because it's like fast food tier list was like December, November.
Did the tier list episodes do good?
Fast food tier list did pretty good for when it released. Ben's episode did pretty good. Then Movies Act 2 did terrible, which I feel like kind of makes sense.
You think are going to be good, and then it doesn't do good. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, but then our favorite video games, the 2 hours long, got a pretty decent boost. End of the World has even more. The End of the World episode has even more views than our favorite video games, which is shocking to me because I thought our fans were gamers, but instead they want to see me in a turtleneck talking about the world exploding.
Our viewership is all over the.
They really are. They're not. You guys aren't consistent.
This is your fault.
Which might be either good.
What do you like?
Because our Backrooms episode dropped, Sour Challenge dropped, and we got a drop for the Caleb experience. Moral Dilemma got a boost, but for some reason Colby episodes
just don't do well.
They're so inconsistent because they're either very serious or very stupid. And so the Moral Dilemma has 245, but the most ridiculous and stupid episode to ever exist has 353.
I'm confuffled.
I don't. Saddest episode has 252, and Aliens only has 202. Pokemon Tier List has 263.
Okay, I have a question. We might have to do this after pokes, but like, what the fuck is the themes with the good episodes? Because usually there's
no consistency.
Yeah, because on my channel, having 100K, not to toot my own horn, there is a bit of idea how it works. There's a general consistent idea of what sticks to the wall, and then there's ideas that don't. And I know it works, but sometimes that shit just doesn't please me as a person, so I don't do that sometimes. Yeah. But with this, what you're telling me, it's all over the place. There is no consistency.
But I think the one thing that's very consistent, the more stupid we are in an episode, the more views it gets. So I guess they really.
I think we really do need a green screen, and then we need to dress up as frogmen. I think that's what we need to do.
No,
we need to dress up as the most ridiculous shit possible.
No.
I'm gonna dress up as Moist Critical the next episode.
I don't think
we're gonna. Alex won't be here. Charlie will be.
I don't think that's the point.
It'll enter the Charlieverse.
I think you're missing the point. I think it's the content of the episode, not how we look in the episode.
But that's
because Wheel of Fate doesn't have good views, and that's a goofy episode.
Maybe it is. I don't know. Where's Mr. Beast for the advice?
I don't trust him.
Hey.
I don't trust him. I think it's just the timing of videos because I think, like I said, I released those September videos with the intent of them releasing in September. So when they did actually, people were more interested in those topics during that time. So they listened to it.
You know what?
And since we're talking about scary stuff during Halloween, there's so many other scary stuff coming out that our stuff probably got pushed to the bottom because we're the lower percentile of what people would be watching. YouTube will not recommend us over anybody else.
It's weird. The genre between what I do and you do is completely fucking different. It's I can't give you advice other than just promoting it in my community tab.
That's all I do. Like I always say, this is just my brain dump that I throw my stuff out so I don't go insane.
Real.
So if you guys like it, that's all that matters. I think we're starting to go crazy from hunger.
Shut the fuck up. I'm hangry now.
But yeah, very weird.
I'm gonna,
our viewership is very inconsistent. The only thing I can think is that my planning of when to release episodes actually worked out for September last year.
I'm hungry. I'm about to text my girlfriend, order the food online, and then we'll go get it
now. Okay.
Can you order food? ?
All right. Here's the last point. The last point on here. If you're losing interest, you should move on to a new podcast.
Like they're a bad girlfriend?
Like it's going back to friendship. Your friendship's not working out anymore.
So what do you mean by bad? What is your definition of bad? Because I have my definition of bad.
I guess here's
conflict.
I'll read what I wrote. If you're not staying engaged in what they're saying anymore, then there's a high chance that the podcast just isn't for you. But at the same time, some people just listen to podcasts for background noise and the content doesn't really matter. That's just another personal preference. But keep in mind that just because one episode isn't engaging, that doesn't necessarily mean that every episode after won't be. Sometimes there'll just be episodes that won't be as good as the others. As you've seen with our podcast, we're very inconsistent on quality. Don't let that stop you from listening. Continue to listen in case it was just one episode that you didn't like. But if it is consistent that you're not enjoying the episodes, then you probably just shouldn't be watching anymore or being their friend anymore.
I think this also might be a little bit of burnout, because that's what I feel. Like. I like a Joe Rogan episode, but after I listened to him for like 2 years straight, working a fucking job that I didn't like, or just working in general, it fucking like you just it's like there's like a negative connotation with it, because at one point you start placing it in your mind for something, and eventually it becomes like, oh man, that's bad memories.
See, but that's the thing. I wasn't working a job I liked either, but
the podcast made it better.
Listening to Distractible is honestly the part I looked forward to the most in my day, because it was like, that's the only time I'd be able to listen to that podcast, was doing that mundane task.
I don't really know, man. It was just weird, because it's just like, I was like, oh man, these Joe Rogan episodes are so good, or like these random fucking ass like a Misfits podcast episodes were good, but then at one point it's just like, fuck, I can't take this anymore. Because like it would just be in the background just to fucking numb me from the fact that I'm doing this fucking dumbass fucking shit that I don't like.
I guess maybe that's an edit. A podcast shouldn't just be background noise. You should actually be interested in what's going on. Maybe that's what we need
to work on. Maybe this is going to become the episode, or maybe a future episode where we go, what should we work on?
I always try to work on the content we talk about. That's why I always try to have a topic in mind, so we're not just rambling on like insane people.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to order food right now, so I have two thoughts in my mind. I'm fucking hungry, dog.
This guy's going insane from starvation.
I'm hungry, guys. I'm hungry. We need better ideas.
I think lately we've been having pretty good ideas.
Yeah, I think. God, son of a bitch! I went to the top of the text.
Oh my gosh!
I'm getting hangry.
I can tell.
I want food. I'm hungry. I think maybe it's just our lack of inexperience with podcasts. I think that's also another major thing. Like, think about it. 73 episodes in, we still don't know shit. Well, I think it takes a long time to realize what the fuck to do on a podcast.
I just realized something though. I've been listening. The two podcasts that I've most recently been listening to, Bad Friends and Crank Gameplays and Jacksepticeye's podcast, Brain Leak. Dude, those guys are experienced entertainers, and it's basically the exact same content we put out. They talk about the only difference is they have different life experiences. That's the only difference. We just do stupid stuff in our current life and talk about that, and they have like backstory. They have a backlog of stories to talk about. But people,
because I think they're older than us. I think we started this podcast too young.
That's not a problem though.
No, it's not a problem, but it's a thing where it starts to show it, because it's like, how am I compared to Mark? I know I'm not compared to Mark. I'm not fucking 30. I don't have. How many subscribers does Mark have?
I think that a lot.
30.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna cut you off right now. Here's the thing. That doesn't matter, because we're catering to a different audience than what they are, because their audience is us.
Oh my god, I can't spell sushi.
Our audience is us plus
sushi.
Probably the younger generation now. We're the Markiplier to the new generation, probably.
I hope so. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life.
I'm just trying to entertain people.
I had an epiphany that I'm starting to actually seriously trying to write, and thanks to having a Chinese kid who is super into writing tell me I fucking suck at writing is the greatest thing ever. At first, if curious is to listen to me, it hurt my feelings. Like, damn, I thought I was kind of good at writing. But now every time I enter VC, it's just like him just tearing me down. I'm like, all right, productivity. No, I love Curious. He's one of my favorite internet friends I've ever gained. So if you're listening to this, but yeah, it's just, I feel like I'm too hungry to finish these thoughts, dog.
Dude, I'm feeling you right now.
No, but like, okay, I'm getting back on the railroad right now. No, I got off the rail. Now I'm back on. I'm going crazy, but it's just like I think it's life experience and what you need to figure out. Like it's like with us, I don't think we've ever like sat down and actually analyzed our content. We're just like, want to do that?
Oh no, I analyze everything.
I don't analyze. I start fucking throwing things on the board.
I analyze. That's why I always jingle the keys for you. I'm like, Alex, we gotta go this way.
Okay.
Because
I'd go. If there was a video game, Starfield, I'm gonna play Starfield, but I'm gonna wait a little bit. But it's just like the game says you can go anywhere and do random fucking bullshit. I can guarantee you when I start playing and then give a little review here on the podcast, I can guarantee you for a fucking fact there's gonna be I wandered in a same direction on a planet for about 8 hours straight, like I do in Minecraft. I quite literally need either my inner subconscious or Caleb to jingle keys in front of me, or I will fucking wander into oblivion.
That's. I thought this wasn't going to be a philosophical episode, but now it's turning philosophical because that's so interesting how different we are in that. Because I'm very task oriented, that I have to do a certain task and I need to constantly be doing something productive. But you could just wander off aimlessly and
it goes with video topics too. Because at first it was like I wasn't really interested back in the day with power scaling. I still am. But now I'll just be like, this random character moment I'll be talking about for fucking 20 minutes now. Here's this week's video upload. That's how it'll be. It's been like that for like 4 weeks now. I've just been fucking wandering into my fucking inner mindscape trying to figure out video ideas. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'll just do.
Coming up with podcast ideas, though,
it's difficult. I understand
that. It's difficult, too.
It's just like, what the fuck do we talk about? I don't know. What do you think?
what do you... Give us ideas. More ideas.
Like, sometimes my comment section comes up with half-decent ideas that I like to talk about, and sometimes they're pretty good. They give me some views. So you need to be a part of this. It's not our fault.
Don't worry, guys, though. Tier lists are on the way. If that's what you guys enjoy, more tier lists are on the way. We also... I want to play more games on the podcast.
Like a podcast-centric game thing? Or like a channel-centric thing?
A podcast, like...
A playthrough or a gaming podcast episode?
No, like... Where it's like a... What they have on like TV shows when they're like doing like quizzes and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like stuff more like the Wheel of Fate kind of thing.
Oh, you mean games as in games, not video games. Okay, never mind.
Like, I want to do stuff like that where it's like we could do Pictionary on the podcast.
If I get Megan Thee Stallion, I'm throwing it in a circle. Yeah. No.
That's not Pictionary. That's charades.
I don't even know what is Pictionary?
You draw.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Yeah.
Look at this guy.
I so want this fucking sushi and rice right now, dude.
You're having sushi?
I'm going to fucking Sumo's, dog.
I don't even know what I'm eating. Everyone left me because I said I needed to record.
Where is everybody? Quiet. Why is the house quiet? That's my second question.
They all left because I said, do you think you guys could just go somewhere for a little bit so I could record? And then they're like, okay. So they did. And I don't know when they're going to be back.
God, I wish my family was like that. Everybody leave. I want to record an episode today.
Alex, what would you say viewers should take out of this guide as a summary?
Find what you fucking like. It's just like real life, dog. Like, if you don't like something, don't do it. Or like, just shut the fuck up and do something else. Some people don't even understand not to do that. That basic idea.
It's true.
But like, if you like it. Or watch it if you like it. If you don't, move the fuck on. And if it eventually gets boring halfway through, you have your problems with it, move on. There you go.
There you go. That's a good...
We're almost at 200 subscribers, right? We're like at 190.
We're pretty dang close.
I remember my 200.
I didn't think we'd make it this far.
Neither did I.
I thought we'd be at 5.
Start 5 episodes in. Man, we're not at 1 million subscribers yet.
I thought we were just going to be posting our echo chamber for the longest time. No. But we're getting pretty steady growth.
Yeah.
Which Appreciate.
Takes a while. It took me 4 years to get 100K. Let's see how long it takes with the podcast. Technically, for what's happening right now, this is on track, technically speaking.
I'd almost say it's a little ahead of the track because a lot of people stay at only like 100 subscribers for the longest time.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like this. It's a little ahead of track. It's not too ahead.
It's not too far.
It's like 5 miles an hour ahead, but like it's good. It's going good because I remember back in my first. This is technically the first year or second year. This is the second year.
Second year of the podcast.
I don't know. Are we?
Well, yeah. It's season 2, second year.
Yeah, it's about this. Yeah, it's about the same. Because it's like by the third year, that's where shit pops off. Apparently,
things go crazy.
Yeah, that's where you fucking start seeing like massive spikes.
See, and if you guys want a future episode that's a guide on how to start a podcast, like start making a podcast, help us get to the point where we can tell you, because right now we still don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, and also like, here's another thing too. If you're gonna start a podcast, like when you're not a fucking comedian who already has a large following, it will take time.
Oh yeah.
Just FYI on that. Like if you see Andrew Schultz or Joe Rogan, like, how did they start from nothing? No, they started from literally nothing, and the podcast just kind of eventually became something from their something. Mm-hmm. They started from zero, but now like we're starting from zero. Our zero is different from their zero.
Our zero is like 0.
It's like negative.
We are kind of at negative.
Yeah.
Barely any following. We just gotta rely on our friends or our power.
I can't wait till somebody makes an edit when we have like 1 million subscribers and it's just us, and then it's just like, you can tell everybody you're the best.
The TikTok edit.
Hey, some of those edits go hard.
It's like, do you think people are gonna make fan cams of us in the future?
I fucking hope so, bro. I'll post for you.
I'm gonna zoom in on my face so they don't see any of that.
I can't wait till most of the fan cams are you just doing this.
Just the most confused look.
You just hear the cricket in the background.
Yeah, it's true.
I think that's your second theme song. It's just the cricket.
Just a cricket.
Yeah. If I had a noise like a funny soundboard, the cricket would be there.
I think we have a cricket on here.
Do we? It's that.
It's our cricket. Yeah. That happens a lot because Alex and Colby just say the darndest things.
I'm telling you, the minute the keys stop jingling, north is the direction.
There probably will be a compilation of just times where I just like am stunned at the things you guys say. Because here's the thing, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but Colby becomes like stupid the moment we start recording. I don't know what happens. He comes on the podcast with the intention of saying something intellectual, yeah. But then as soon as we start recording, it's just stupid. And then Alex becomes even more stupid.
Fair.
Like, I don't understand what happens. Because me and Alex will just have conversations that's
I'll act normal. I'll be like,
it'll be fine.
But the minute the camera's in front of me, I go,
no, it's different. Because we'll have episodes that you're serious and we have a serious conversation. And then there's times with Colby where I have a serious conversation with him. But as soon as we start recording an episode with the intent of talking about something serious, one of you or both of you just starts being stupid.
Let's act like a hooligan.
You know what? Brain cells gone.
They went on vacation. They went on their 15-minute break.
They really do. I don't know what happens. I wish I could.
I love being on camera. It's fucking funny. I love acting like a dumbass.
Now I'm gonna look through our backlog now. There is a specific episode that I know for sure. It's just like stupid. Which one is it?
I don't know. You tell me.
I want to say All Vibes is definitely one. We're just kind of dead during that episode.
Yeah.
I want to say the Aliens one. That one I went in thinking that because you guys
the same episode that you'd say you'd You'd kill yourself
because you guys are so ridiculous.
Oh my god, that's right. I love that episode.
I don't understand what I thought for sure you guys always want to talk about conspiracies and the aliens. And I'm like, I don't believe in aliens, but you know what? Since aliens are a hot topic right now, let's talk about the aliens because I'm interested in what you guys have to say. And then you guys just said the most stupid things. I don't know where your brains went that day, but it just got more and more stupid. Like, we didn't even talk about any alien conspiracy theories or anything. You're talking about if an alien disguised itself, if the alien from Aliens it had an orange cat, would I trust it? And it was like, what does that this hypothetical situation have to do with anything that's happening in real life right now?
Oh, I love it. I love acting like a tomfool.
There's
a podcast about podcasts.
It's so dumb. I think the only serious episode we had with Colby is the saddest episode.
That episode was sad, though.
Truly
we were all sad for, no reason.
Yeah. We'd be sad.
Bonk.
Moral dilemma. That was me being stupid. That was my stupidity.
All right. Well, I think that's about it from us.
It really is. I hope you guys learned something.
I hope you did. I felt like this was a stupid episode.
If you guys laughed or learned, that's all that matters. Do one or the other, because if you didn't do either, then we failed. Alex, any final comments?
I think my girlfriend accidentally paid when I wanted to pay. Son of a... Hold on. This is my final comment. Did you pay? I was going to... Final comments. Other than my order from Sumo's, which is steak fried rice, a steak fried this rice, and some sushi with yam sauce.
Alex, I hope you enjoy your dinner. I really do. I really hope that I hope it's the most delicious thing you've ever eaten.
Bro, it's about to smack. You know what? You know what I'm describing? The feeling I have right now is when I'm high. This is how I feel when I'm high. I'm just giggles and I'm like, food.
This is Alex when Colby's on the podcast. Insane. Colby's not here.
Where is Bulby? Will Bulby ever return since his girlfriend has stolen him from our podcast?
He's a dad now.
He's a dad?
Yeah, he has a stepson.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
We're gonna leave it off on that fucking lore drop.
So who knows when Colby will come back?
Does he actually?
Maybe someday. Maybe Nether.
Are you fucking with
Nether?
Me? Nether? We gotta go to the Nether. We have yet to record. We have yet to do that. Is that tonight's plan? Probably. Or are we both gonna be lazy and not doing?
Who knows? We'll see what happens.
I might play Fortnite with Craig.
I need to eat.
Yeah,
that's first and foremost on my list. But yeah, I don't know when Colby will be back. My other brother's supposed to be on the podcast soon. We'll see if that works out.
I swear, if he gets some wild takes saying Mountain Rush is S tier, I'm gonna fucking flip.
You guys got a sneak peek at next week's episode. Probably, maybe. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what
happens. But anyways, yeah, just like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast.
Fuck this.
Watch our backlog. Peace out.